Welcome to another Yoga Mo-Flo workout. My name's Heather. I'm the creator of Yoga Mo-Flo. Yoga Mo-Flo is designed to be a yoga and mobility practice. We're going to be working our body head to toe. We're going to be strengthening, working on mobility through the joints, lengthening, and stretching, working on our flexibility. So just as a little warning here, I have my Chewini running around. Henny Ruru, he might be coming over here and bothering me during the workout. And I'm sure you guys have pets at home too, so you know what that's like, or children, or other things happening. So if you notice things, and you notice Henny coming up to me while I'm working out, the whole point is just trying to stay present and able to keep calm when those things happen. So we're going to get started. So to get started, I invite you to come into a hero's pose, kind of in the middle of your mat. We're going to start here just taking some breaths, shutting down the eyes, and just pausing for just a minute before we start working. So taking deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose, trying to keep the lips sealed throughout the entire workout, although we will be getting our heart rate up some, so that may prove quite challenging, but we'll try. If you like, I invite you to set an intention. Then go ahead and gently open your eyes. The first move we're going to do is a mobility move, and we're just going to come up and down on our knees and back into our hero's pose here. So just lifting up, and we're going to do it 6 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then if you are in the middle of the mat, you may want to come back just a smidge into your hero's pose. And we're just going to come up into a runner's lunge 6 times, alternating our feet in front of us. So starting with our right foot, holding here for just a breath, and stepping back, then bringing forward our left foot. Just warming up the hips. Here's 4. Last time. Very good. Coming back into hero's pose, we're going to go ahead and open up through the groin now. So we're going to start on this side and end up at a hero's pose on the other side. So it looks like this. Rolling onto the right hip, opening the leg, stretching out the groin, and coming to this side. So that's 1, 2, here's 3, 4, 1. Pause for just a minute, and then we're going to find our tabletop. So in our tabletop, we want our wrists under our shoulders, our knees under our hips, and from here we're going to go and do some cat-cow. So dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, stretching out the core, inhaling and then exhaling, rounding our backs. Let's do that a few more times. Once more. Coming back into our tabletop. Let's go ahead and extend our left leg behind us, flexing our toes, and then go ahead and take that right arm out in front. Pause here, strengthening the core, warming up the back. We're going to take our knee to elbow 3 times. So go ahead and inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow, twice more. Hold. Go ahead and release the right hand down. Bend the left knee, then take the right hand and grab the foot for tiger pose behind you. Go ahead and drop the belly, gaze forward. It's a balance practice. Release everything, one more stretch, and place everything down. Go ahead and take that same left leg, stretch it behind you off the side of your mat, gazing over your right shoulder, stretching through the left side body. And release back to center. Let's go ahead and do that on the opposite side. So go ahead and take that right foot back, left arm forward, hold for just a moment. And then let's do knee to elbow. So inhale, exhale, knee to elbow, twice more. Hold. Let's go ahead and reach that left arm behind you, grabbing the right foot into your tiger's pose. Hold for just a moment. Release the left hand down, taking the right leg off the back side of your mat, looking over your left shoulder at your right foot, and pause. And release. Back into our tabletop. Go ahead and lift the knees into your downward facing dog. It's the first one of the class, so go ahead and pedal out through the feet, stretching the calves, the hamstrings, up through the back. Breathe for just a moment. And then if you can, I'd like for you to walk to the top of your mat, trying to keep your legs straight for as long as you can. If you have to bend your knees, that's okay, but go ahead and just try. Once you get here, forward fold. Let's do flat back, fold again, and then rise to the top, palms kiss, and land in front of our heart. From here, step to the top of your mat. We're going into a chair pose. So go ahead and squat back, looking down at your feet, being sure that you're able to see all 10 toes. And you can take your biceps as close to your ears as you can get. Pausing here. Let's go into a twist. Let's do right arm back. Pause. Back to chair, left arm back. Back to chair. And go ahead and stand, hands to heart. From here, we're going to do another mobility practice. We're going to strengthen our legs, our glutes, and work on getting up from the ground without using our hands, which is really important for us, especially as we get older. So we're going to squat down and roll back, stand back up. If you need to use your hands, that's fine, but you'll get to the point, hopefully, that you won't have to. We're going to do it 8 times. So, looks like this, squatting down, rolling on our backs, and standing up. That's 1, 7 more times through. Go at your own pace. That's 5. Twice more. Here we go, last one. Once you get to the top, forward fold. Go ahead and take your feet a little bit wider. You can grab opposite elbows and rest it out. Just sway here. Take some deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring that heart rate down just a little bit. That's tough. From here, go ahead and lift halfway. Fold. And rise to the top. Hands to heart. Let's bring our feet just a little bit closer together. From here, we're going to do some lunges. So we're going to step back into our runner's lunge and then come back into a one-legged Tadasana. And we're going to do it 8 times on one leg. Just follow along. Do the best that you can. So here we go. Step back and up. That's 1. If you fall or lose your balance, that's okay. It's a balance practice. Twice more. On this next one, we're going to hold back in our runner's lunge. Go ahead and step back to your plank and hold, working on our core. So we're holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now working on upper body strength, we're going to lower to the ground very slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Pause here a minute. Take the hands behind the back. Here comes Hini Ruru. And we're going to lift up, oh, lots of kisses, 8 times. So, clasping our hands, using our back muscles, we raise up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bringing our palms underneath our shoulders, tucking under our feet, lifting our knees. Raise yourself in one long plank off the mat into your high plank, or if you need to come onto your knees, you can do that too. So let's lift off, and let's pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do knees down, send it back to child's pose. And take some deep breaths. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. You can even sigh it out. A few more breaths. You notice that we are working on core strength in this sequence. Oh, Penny's back. Then go ahead and lift up into your tabletop and send it back to your downward facing dog. Thank you, honey. See if you can try this again, walking to the front of your mat with straight legs. Go ahead and give it a try. You may be a little bit more flexible now and you're able to do it. Getting to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Oh, goodness. Forward fold and rise up to the top. Palms kiss and land in front of your heart. Go ahead and adjust yourself, move to the front of the mat if you need to. We're going to go ahead and do the lunges, moving the left leg back this time into our balancing Tadasana. So 8 of those lunges. So here we go. Here's 1, 2, watch out, 3, 2 more. And this next one we come back and hold. And go ahead and step back into your plank. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let's slowly lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing here for just a second. We're going to do another back strengthener. Excuse me, we're going to go ahead and take our arms out in front of us. Here, watch out, Amy. And we're going to lift up our chest and pull our arms back, and we're going to do it for 8 times. And I'll probably be attacked the entire time. So go ahead and lift up. 1, 2, 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and put your palms flat on the ground and rest your forehead on your palms. You can bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet, having a little bit of a release in your lower back. From here, lengthen out the legs. We're going to do a shoulder stretch. So go ahead and take that right arm out to the side and go ahead and roll over onto that right shoulder using your left foot as a kickstand to hold yourself here. Feeling a nice stretch through that right shoulder. You just worked pretty hard and we're not done yet. This is just a nice little oasis, a little interlude. Hopefully you don't have a chewing on your hand. Slightly painful. And release. Let's go to the other side. So rolling onto your belly, sticking that left arm out, rolling onto that left shoulder, using that right foot as a kickstand, and holding yourself on the opposite side. Hopefully if you do have dogs, they're more well behaved than the one that I have. Kenny is a pandemic puppy, so he's not used to being around people, so he kind of doesn't understand manners. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lift ourselves back up into our plank. So holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into our downward dog. And pause a minute. Take a deep breath. Inside out. Going into a little bit more core work, coming back into our plank. From here, we're going to roll into our side plank on our right side, and we're going to dip our hips for 8, 2, you can put your hand on your hip too, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From here, a little balance challenge. Go ahead and see if you can lift that left leg off your right and slowly step it to the top of your mat. Here we are in a lizard pose. Enjoy this right here. Rock it out. Go ahead and step back into your plank and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to do that all on the left side. So here we go, rolling to our left side, having our right arm up or on our hip, and let's do those hip drops for 8, Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going into that little challenge where we lift our right leg off our left and slowly try to put our foot close to our hands in our lizard lunge and rock it out. You're doing great. Go ahead and step it back to plank. One last little core strengthener here. We're going to do some mountain climbers. So start pulling your knees in toward your chest. We're not here forever. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Knees down. Back into your child's pose. Some deep breaths. In through the nose. Sigh it out. We told you you would get your heart rate up. Coming back into our tabletop. Send the knees up. Back to your downward facing dog. From here, let's do a little vinyasa. So coming forward into your plank. I know, done a lot of these. Chaturanga to up dog, back to your downward facing dog. If you're sweating, that's good, so am I. From here, we're going to do one last strengthening move, which are 4 dive bomber push-ups. So we're going to get our chin as close to the mat as we can, lifting up into an upward dog. If you need to come down on your knees, I'll actually show you how to do one on your knees really quick for a modification. You come down like so, pushing up into your up dog, and then back to your down dog. If you can, try to do them off your knees just for a little bit more strengthening, but there's nothing wrong with having to use some modification. So here we go. Passing it through. Lifting up, that's 1. 3 more times. Once more. Back to downward dog. Hold for just a minute. Take 1 deep breath. Out the mouth. And drop down to your knees. From here, we're going to do a thread the needle. So go ahead and lift your right hand to the sky. Maybe roll that wrist in one direction, then the other. And then go ahead and thread it through, putting your ear down on the mat, your right ear down, and you can, if you want, you can keep the left hand by your face or stretch it out in front of you. And hold here. If you feel that your hips are swaying to the left, try to pull them a little bit back towards center. Then placing that left palm in front of your face, counter stretch again, raise to the sky, right arm, and release. Let's go ahead and do it on the other side. Left arm to the sky, wrist rolls. Go the other direction. And then thread that left arm through your right. Placing the left ear on your mat. Extending the right hand forward if that feels good to you. And stretching here. Once again, if you feel like your hips are swaying to the right, try to pull them a little bit back towards center. Then go ahead and place that right palm in front of your face, counter stretch, reaching that left arm to the sky, and release. Here we're going to come back into our hero's pose, pausing for just a minute, and we're going to do some finger work. So all we're going to do is have our arms out in front of us, and we're just going to make a fist and release. The trick here is to really try to extend your fingers as far as you can and really make a good fist, and we're going to do it as fast as we can, and we're going to do it for about a minute. So here we go. In Yoga Mo-Flo, we really try to work all joints in your body. That's going to include your fingers and your toes. So if you don't move it, you lose it. So we're going to move it. So we're going to do this for about a minute. I know it gets tough. But trust me, it's good for you. Especially if you work at a computer all day or you have a job where you really use your fingers. Very good. Let's go ahead and shake it out. One more finger exercise, one I call piano fingers. We're going to take our arms out to the side, and we're going to push down each finger separately like you're playing a piano if you could. I can't. And we're just going to do this about 10 times. We're just isolating each finger, getting a wide range of motion here. Last time through. Well done. You can shake out those wrists again. Go ahead and extend your arms back out. We're going to take eagle arms here. So go ahead and do your right arm under your left. If this is as far as you can get, that's fine. Or if you have to hold here, that's okay too. But if you can do full eagle arms, please do. Go ahead and sit here and lift them. Raise them to the sky, stretching out the shoulders. And then folding down. Go ahead and come back up. And release. We're going straight into the other side. So left arm under the right. Wrap them around. Raise your palms to the sky. And fold over. Raise them back up. And release. From here, coming to the center of our mat, we're going to sit in a straddle. So go ahead and take your legs wide. Keep your toes flexed. And we're just going to stretch out the groin. So go ahead. Sometimes you might need to put your hands behind you and lift yourself up a little bit forward. That's good. And then we're just going to walk it out as far as you can. So maybe you're right here. That's great. We're just working on our flexibility. If you can come down to your elbows, that's about where I am. Some of you may be really flexible and able to get your arms way out and your head down to the floor. I'm not quite there yet. I'm working on it, although that felt pretty good to come out a little bit further, so maybe I'm getting better. We're just going to pause. Pause here and stretch it out. You can even sway a little bit side to side if that feels good. Sometimes it feels better to move than be static. The hard stuff is done. You guys did a really great job. That wasn't an easy workout, especially during the summertime. I can feel the heat in my home, so maybe you can too. From here, go ahead and walk it in. Let's go ahead and bend over the right leg. Grab where you can. That may be your shin. Some of you may be able to reach your feet. Doesn't mean if you can reach your foot that you're a better person or anything like that. It just means you can reach your foot. So don't think of this as something that defines you. We're just stretching. It's just stretching. So holding here. And then go ahead and come on up. We're going to stretch to the left side. So grab that left foot or your shin, wherever you're at, and fold. Everybody is different. And so some people have long legs and short torsos. Some people have short legs and long torsos. So stretches and yoga always look different on everybody because we're all individuals and unique. So you just do what feels best for you. And then go ahead and walk on up. From here, we're gonna make our way to our backs. Get there however you like. I'm gonna get just a little bit of core strength, last core strength in here, so I'm gonna reach my arms out, and I'm just gonna lower as slow as I can onto my back. Very good. Once you're here, go ahead and place your feet on the floor. We're gonna go into a figure 4 stretch, so go ahead and cross that right foot over the left knee, keeping the left or the right foot flexed to protect your right knee, and then thread your arms through, pull it into your chest. If it feels better on your left knee to grab behind the hamstring, that's good for you. I like to grab on my shin. Again, it's just what feels good for me. So do what feels good for you, and we're just gonna hold here. Stretching out that right hip. Go ahead if you can, see if you can just squeeze a little more and release, putting that left foot down on your mat. Keep everything as it is. We're going to do a little side twist here. Drop everything to the left. So your right foot is hitting the ground. Go ahead and reach that right arm out. You can look over the shoulder. You should feel this in your right hip. If you don't, go ahead and take your left hand and wrap it around the ankle, pulling that foot a little bit closer to you, and that'll deepen the stretch. Go ahead and release, coming back to center, putting that right foot down on the mat. We're going to do everything on the opposite side. So taking the left foot, crossing it over the right knee, and keeping that left foot flexed, pulling everything in, stretching out that left hip. That should feel good. Go ahead and see if you can pull it a little bit closer, get a little bit deeper stretch. And then drop that right foot to the floor. Keep everything as it is and drop it all to the right. Letting that left foot hit the ground, taking your left arm out, looking over the left shoulder, and pulling that right ankle in if you need to. And just pause. Lifting everything back up, coming back to the center. We're going to finish off with Happy Baby before our Shavasana. So go ahead and lifting the knees in, grabbing onto the feet, or if you can't do that, you can grab the ankles. But trying to keep that lower back on the ground, and you can even just rock it side to side here. Just one last stretch for our hips. If you like, you can bend one knee and straighten the leg, and then the other, getting just a nice hamstring stretch, or if you want, you can do both, rocking side to side, whatever feels good to you. Once you feel if you've had enough of that, go ahead and release, taking one leg out, then your other into your Shavasana, having your feet probably as wide as your mat, just letting your feet flop open. Arms out to the side, palms up, closing the eyes, breathing through the mouth. We're going to be here for a minute, breathing through the nose. We're going to be here for a minute or two. I encourage you to stay here for your Shavasana. Sometimes we're in a hurry and we just ignore this and we're done. But this is a really important part of your practice where all that wonderful work that you did, all the strengthening, the stretching, the mobility, is absorbing into all of your tissues. So don't skip it. You have a minute or two. Start to waken the body back up. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Moving your head from side to side, rocking it. Take one last good morning stretch, reaching your hands above your head, stretching out through your feet. Really stretching everything, lengthening out through the body. And go ahead and roll to one side in a fetal position. And pause for just a moment. Then using the strength of your arms to have you sit up and take a seat on your mat. Let's just sit here for just a second. I want you to just take a second to notice how your body feels from the start of class. Maybe your spine feels a little bit longer. Maybe you just feel a little bit more relaxed. Just notice what body movement does for you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let's go ahead and take our hands to the center of our heart, bowing our heads. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that Yoga Mo-Flo sequence. If you have any comments or suggestions for me or questions, please leave them in the space below. Also, Yoga Mo-Flo does put out 2 workouts per week. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming workouts. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.